Hi everyone, welcome back to the Anand studio. We have our, as usual, very welcome guest to our studio, Mr. Damu. Namaste, Damuji, for joining
Namaste,
us.
namaste, Anant. Thank you.
Namaste.
Nice to see you again.
Same here, likewise. So today we'll be talking about, Damu and I will be talking about Narendra Modi ji. He just completed his 71 years and yesterday it was his birthday. So everybody celebrated. We saw that. So much of tweets going on back and forth. Everybody wishing him. So we thought we will have this discussion about this man called Narendra Damodar Das Modi. That's his full name. And we will talk about what we see of him. It will be a discussion around that, what Damu sees of him, what I see of him, and what we understand of him. And hope you will enjoy the show.
Anant, I just want to mention one thing. The celebration will continue till 2nd October. So there will be a lot of programs, which will have a benefit to the people. It's not just the happy birthday celebration. It's for the people.
Exactly. And that's BJP, Modi's style. And Mr. Annamalai has also mentioned that there will be continuous celebrations that will benefit people. It's not just about putting a big banner and talking about Modi. Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, totally. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
So, quickly, I'll give a quick summary of Narendra Modi ji's life till he became a PM, okay, for the benefit of our viewers. So, he was born on the 17th of September 1950 in Vadnagar, Gujarat. Interestingly, he was the first Prime Minister to be born in independent India. All right. So, and he was third of the 6 children that his parents had. His father's name was Damodar Das Modi, which is why his middle name is Damodar Das, and his mother's name is Hiraba Modi. So they were from a marginalized section of the society. Right? He lived in a very small single-story house, approximately 40 feet by 12 feet. Right? So he understands the pain of our middle class and our poor people in India because he was also poor once upon a time.
Did he take a free, Anant, did he take a free train from Gujarat to Delhi? We have a person in Tamil Nadu who took a free train and now they are the billionaires in Tamil Nadu. That's why I asked.
Oh, got it. I don't think so. I don't know. Because nothing came free to Modi ji, all right? So he worked really hard for whatever he has earned today.
And the other thing is, I couldn't find any of his family members, in the party.
Exactly.
We have a habit of seeing, grandfather, father, and the grandson to be in the party, with the positions. For Modi ji, we couldn't find anyone. He has not even taken his mother to his place. He is not even living with his mother.
Exactly.
Yeah, please continue.
Exactly.
Please continue.
And his brother also works very modestly in a particular job today, even now. All right. So that's the kind of a background he has, and that's his outlook. And in a very small age, he helped his father in his tea stall, and the whole world and as well as India knows about that. As a child, he celebrated both Hindu and Muslim festivals because he had a lot of Muslim friends at a very young age too. So interestingly, when he was 9 years old, all right, there was a flood in Gujarat, and he and his friends started a food stall and donated proceeds to the government. Okay, so from that time, 9 years of age itself, he was thinking about how to really do this service to people. Very interesting. And then he dreamt of joining the Indian Army. Right? He couldn't study much because of he was not able to pay the fees and all that. He wanted to study in a Sainik school at that time. That did not happen for financial reasons. Then, at the age of 17, he left home to travel across India. So here is a prime minister who has spent lots of years traveling India, and he knows, he has connected with people, he has understood what India is all about, very importantly. And in 1972, he became RSS Pracharak, and in 1987, he became General Secretary of BJP Gujarat because of his very strong organizational skills. People have seen that in BJP. And then he then helped BJP win Ahmedabad municipal elections. That's how we grow. In Tamil we say padi padiya. It was not given to him in a silver spoon.
Correct.
Okay, so he worked his way up. in the
when you
organization called
when you
BJP.
say padipadiya, I have to tell you also in Tamil Nadu, all these Dravidian government, they always says, yes, we will close Tasmak, padipadiya close பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னுவாங்க.
Well, right. So in 1995, he became the national secretary, right? And then he helped BJP win Lok Sabha elections in 1998. In 2001, he became the CM of Gujarat for the first time. And after that, he was continuously the CM of Gujarat for 13 years. And then he became a prime minister. So if you see his life story, it's always been a struggle. Okay, it has not been easy, and he has really worked hard. But he had one thing in mind very clear, that he wanted to work for the country and not for just himself and his family. So that was very clear. So I just wanted to start with his life history, a quick summary of Modi ji, how he has come so far. And this is very inspirational for all of us and the youth of India today, okay, to really learn from this and probably get inspired, even the youth of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so it's going to be very important for them to look at this person who became from a tea seller to a prime minister of India. So your thoughts, Mr. Damasu?
No, there's a lot of thing you can learn from our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. See, when he took over as a CM in 2001, yeah, he was not a MLA, So he took over as a CM and then he becomes the MLA. The day he becomes the MLA, the day he becomes the Chief Minister of Gujarat, the next day was Godhra. That was February 27th, 2002.
Right.
So, like this, many tough situations, he has managed. All his past experience, the tough situations and negative propaganda, made him as a strong man, made him as a very strong leader in India. So today, we all should be proud. We have a strong person as our Prime Minister. Exactly. He can take decisions. If he is not stronger, he will not implement 370. If he is not stronger, he cannot bring CAA. If he is not stronger, he cannot bring a farm bill. If he is not stronger, he cannot. If he is not stronger, he cannot bring a new education policy. So all this happened because he is a strong man, and more importantly, he wanted to work for the nation. He wanted to serve the people. Today, we are all safe. We feel comfortable living in India because of Narendra Modi ji.
Exactly. So if you see, Modi ji has really kind of worked his way up, as we discussed already. So as a politician, Modi ji had a lot of issues confronted him. Okay, starting with Godhra, and it was kind of a vendetta against him at that time, but he tackled that following the process of law, which is again very important, right? He did not throw tantrums and all that. He went through. So much of bleeding happened, and then he came clean, right? And that's the perseverance of this man, right? So he just perseveres. He goes through the process very patiently, waits for his time to come. And that's why I see him grow within BJP also, isn't it? So he started as a general secretary, then national secretary, but he proved through the results that he got for BJP. And that's what brought him to the limelight, right? His hard work. As a Karyakarta in BJP, he did not just stay there and go with the flow all the time, right? He really made a difference, and that's a very important thing to notice in Mr. Modi.
Yeah, okay? As you said, he goes through the process and he takes a firm decision. He takes a decision on his own. Like, he is not remotely operated PM. And whatever decision he takes, it benefits the country, it benefits each and every citizen of India. After Modi ji took over as a PM, the world, the way they look at India has become different. We feel proud saying I'm an Indian. So that happened because of Modi ji. If he is not stronger, if he is not a clean politician, in the world or in India, he is the only person who has got a clean record in politics. You can even say in the world, he is the only person who has got a clean record in politics. See, that is why he is able to take the decisions. He is able to do what he thinks is good for the nation, for the people.
Exactly. And see, the point is, he is not here to amass wealth for himself. He can just take a bag and go to Himalayas tomorrow if he wants to.
Exactly.
Okay, he does not have a big family and all that, right? So he can always do that. But he is here to serve the nation. And that's been very clear from his younger days itself. That comes out from his life story. So he is a person who takes risks as a politician, I would think. Sometimes very unpopular decisions have been taken by him. Even Article 370, which was feared for the last 70 years. Everybody feared getting into that area.
Nobody
of
wants to
Article
touch it.
370.
Nobody wants to touch
Exactly.
it. CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, nobody wants to touch it. They are all fear about taking this decision because they always have some sort of an agenda. It is not, they don't look at the benefit of the country, or they don't look at the benefit of the people. They all look at their own benefit, their own party benefit, their alliance benefit, and all that. So that is why they could not take a decision. But Narendra Modi is totally different. His motto is developing the country, doing good thing for the nation. So that is why he could able to take this kind of decisions.
Exactly. And demonetization. All right. That was such a big decision, at the same time, a very hard one. Okay. There was a lot of disappointment from several sections of the society saying, oh, why are we doing this? And all that. But the interesting piece was at that time, India was behind Modi. Every single person supported, even on the road, right? A person who had, say, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, but they still supported Mr. Modi because they understood the intent of this man. Okay, people might say that how much of money came from other countries, how much of black money came back, let's count it and all that. But it had a lot of other important repercussions, okay, which are beneficial for India. So much of money that was coming in through unauthorized sources was stopped because of that demonetization, that one thing, okay, which doesn't meet our eye. Right?
There
So
are
that's
many,
why,
there are many economic reforms, they have done. Otherwise, like if you see before Modi ji took office, like if you compare between 2006 to 2013, our GDP was 1.8 trillion. And we were in the world, we were in the 10th place. But if you see after 2014 up to 2021, now our GDP is 2.9 trillion, close to 3 trillion. So we moved from 10th place to 5th place. If there was no COVID for the last 2 years or 1.5 year, I'm sure we'll be in the 4th place or even 3rd place. So all this happens because of these kind of reforms. Now everything is online. They are very strong. They say, yes, you need to have an Aadhaar card, you need to have a PAN card,
right.
and all these benefits, subsidies goes through online. See, they are paying like 6,000 rupees a year for farmers. Just pressing one button, it goes to starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Everyone gets it online. So there is no middleman. We don't lose money. Yes, there are things happen, but still, see, these systems now works up to 90-95% efficiency.
Exactly. Exactly. And that was a very important move for India. The money has to go to the bank account of every single person or the recipient, right? Without anybody again in between taking it. And but in Tamil Nadu, for instance, even now, the 2,000 rupees that was given, I believe that was given in again cash. The digital system was not used. Is that? Dhamu, you'll know better.
No, purposely it was not
Yeah.
used because the government which is ruling now, they were not in a power for the last 10 years. So all these party members, they need some sort of a way to make money. So maybe everybody thinks, oh, this government came and they are giving us 2,000 and then another 2,000. No, I think the major benefits they wanted to give it to the party members. That is why they had this cash distribution. And they all have a bank account. Why they could not send it through the bank?
Exactly.
They all have an Aadhaar card. Why they could not send it to them? Why they are distributing cash? Because more than the people's benefit, there is a personal benefit for the party and the party members.
Exactly. So Modi as a politician is not a person who is going after money, and there has not been any scam that has been reported. So it's been corruption free. That's a very important achievement of Modi ji's government because of Modi ji's leadership, also for that matter. Okay, so he comes with an intent to serve the nation. So if the underlying intent is there, then all these other things that we talk about that happens, the corruption and all that is not going to happen because the intent of the man is very clear. Right?
See, it's not only the corruption and the development. The way we look at our neighboring countries, the way they look at us. If you see before 2014, there is always terrorist attack in Kashmir. And Pakistan, they decide when they wanted to enter, they decide when they can attack. They do everything. And what we do, we try to defend, and then we arrange a conversation with them. We arrange a conversation with them. We try to talk to them in a polite way. But after Modi took over office, the treatment is different. The way we approach is different. And if you know Pulwama, February 14, 2019, okay, they did a suicide attack. We lost about 40 army men and one suicide person. But we took a week, 10 days, 26th of February, same month, our army, they went into Pakistan in their airspace. We attacked, we finished their training camps. There were about 350 terrorists. We killed them. When we came back, our army personnel, they call Pakistan and say, boss, yes, we did our operation. If you try to do something like this is what we will do. If you stop, we will keep quiet. If you continue, we will do it twice or thrice. So that is the message we gave them. We gave the same thing for China in Ladakh. Yes, they killed 19 of our army men. But then when we gave them back, we made 5 times more damages. So now they are keeping quiet. We do defensive and then we also do an offensive attack.
Correct.
So the defensive of offense, yes. Yes.
As Mr. Doval says, defensive offense, and that's the new India, right? So we'll be very kind and we'll have great relationship, but if you start playing around with us, we will again give it back, all right, with the same kind of an impact. So the other bit, interestingly, is Modi ji as a politician is so creative and innovative. That's how I see this. His Man Ki Baat, all right, program to connect through the radio, for instance, that's a very creative one. Why couldn't people, earlier politicians or earlier prime ministers, think about this, right? Doing a series of Man Ki Baat. Okay, so these are some of the things Modi ji thinks very creatively. He keeps on learning and he adapts to new things, right? And uses it very creatively. And that's another very important aspect of Modi ji that people have to notice.
It clearly shows he is people's man. He doesn't want to keep himself away from the people. He wanted to connect with the people with the best possible way. Whatever way he can connect, he is trying to connect. And for this Man Ki Baat, I have to mention something. Every time, every month, he speaks to someone in Tamil Nadu. So I'm very, very happy to say this.
Definitely, and that's his whole thing, right? That's Modi's personality. Okay, and people say the opposition and others who are against him say that okay, he's a dictator and all that. Okay, people fear him. But if this was the case, he couldn't have been a CM of Gujarat for 13 long years with great public support. He had ground level connect with people. there. Even now he has it, right? He has not left that. He still has it. Okay, so I think that's again a very important or a very unique aspect, and that made him successful as a politician. And that's why the opposition parties are not able to understand how to counter it. Because this guy brings in all these strengths, okay, that every politician should have. We call it Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Modi ji is not afraid of using all four
Correct.
based on situation. He is not impulsive. He is not impulsive. All right. So he will take his time and then come back at the opportune time. And that's the mark of an important political leader. You cannot jump the gun and say, "Oh, this person did that. Okay, I'll tell this." He will be patient and wait for his turn. That's
See,
how I see him. Yeah.
See, 13 long years in Gujarat with the support of people in Gujarat. Now, the 7th year in India with the support of all Indians.
Exactly.
And this is going to continue for years to come. Even in 2024, he is going to win the election with the majority.
Definitely.
And his success will continue. So his success is our success. The more he serves, the more we grow. The more benefit will come to each and every Indian. The India will grow. We will become the superpower one day. And definitely we can do that when you have a strong person like Modi ji as our Prime Minister.
Definitely. And nobody else could think about basic things like toilets in villages.
True.
Right? So we expect Modi ji to do everything which was not done 70 years of our independence, in 7 years. All right? Because expectations are there. Okay, they are sky high from all of us. But the man is trying to correct all the basic issues that we have in our country, and that too quite creatively. Otherwise, see, a simple thing like toilet, building that across the board in all villages, okay, did not strike anyone else.
Correct.
And he comes and talks about this, and then everybody else starts latching on to it. And that's what is the uniqueness of Modi ji, right?
See, all his schemes, creative, efficient, and effective.
Right.
Exactly. It's not only just a creative, it is very efficient, very effective, useful to each and every one.
Exactly. And he understands, right? Because that's I'm going to say, that's the advantage that he has. Okay, he has risen from that. He has been there, seen this. He knows the pain of people, and that's how he's coming up with all these programs that really impact at the ground level. Okay, people who have a lot of money might not realize it, but a toilet is so important for a villager.
Definitely,
for women folk in the village, right? So
yes.
all these things, Ujjwala scheme that they have, that was so important. Although it might sound very small for us, small to us, but it's very important for the villagers and the women folk to grow and develop in the villages and the quality of life, right? So it's very important, and he has talked through that in the beginning itself.
And insurance.
Insurance, exactly. That's the other one.
Giving 6,000 rupees to a farmer in a year, it's a big help. Big help.
Definitely.
They get like 2,000, like, 3 times a year, which no one thought about it. And this is transferred to their account directly. It's not a cash distribution. No middleman. Nobody is taking the money. So this is what I said, creative, efficient, and effective. Whatever you give, 100% benefit reaches the end user.
Exactly. And the farm laws are also like that, right? Although there's too much of politics being done by the people sitting in Delhi on the roads and all that.
No, there is no. I don't see. Anand, sorry, I don't see any politics in this farm bill. It's only one state who is fighting, and everyone knows why they are fighting, and who is sponsoring them.
Exactly.
It is narrowed down to Punjab only now.
Yeah.
So who is protesting and who is fighting? They are all brokers. They are all middlemen.
Exactly.
They are not real farmers.
Exactly. And the real farmer would understand the advantage of it for him or her. right? And they will definitely support. Even in Tamil Nadu, I think there is quite a lot of support for that, isn't it, Mr. Dhamu?
I won't say quite a lot of support. There is nobody is opposing it.
Okay. Perfect.
I have
Perfect.
never seen a farmer in Tamil Nadu who is coming on the road and fighting against this farm law.
Makes sense, makes sense. So that's the whole thing, right? All this halla gulla about, oh, the farm laws are anti-farmer and all that goes on, but that's a small section that you're talking about who have some malified intent in doing
Exactly.
this.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely. So we talked about Modi as a politician, and all these things may make him a very successful politician. He's a shrewd one at that. Okay, so he will not deter to take very hard decisions. Okay, but again, calculated but very hard decisions he can take. He has proved that many a times, and that's the right thing for India. I would think for its growth within some time, right? So further growth. We've already grown a
See,
lot, like you mentioned.
Anant, I wanted to mention one very important thing now, and then you can conclude.
Sure.
See, yesterday we have done 2 crores of vaccination. We have administrated 2 crores, 2.3 crores of vaccination, and this is a world record. And no country in the world can do this. They can't even think about it.
Exactly.
That is the gift for
Right.
our Prime Minister Modi ji. There are some countries, who has got only 5 million population, 10 million population. They have only done up to 60% or 70%. In one day, we have done 2.3 crores. See, we have about 138 crores. So as of yesterday, we have covered close to 80 crores.
Right.
And this cannot be possible in any country in the world. You take US, they have 331 million population, and our population is 1,380 million. We have covered almost 55-60%.
Exactly.
And in US, it's a developed country. You have all sort of transport. You can reach each and every one. They have the national ID. You can trace them. But India, it's not like that. We don't have a national ID for everyone. There are some places you can't even reach them. There's no road transport, proper transport, but still we are able to do this. This is possible because we have a good administrator, we have a good PM, we have a strong PM. There's a lot of planning goes behind this.
Exactly. Exactly.
We have to feel proud about it. We have to say, yes, I am an Indian. Only in India this is possible.
Exactly. We all have to be proud of this achievement, actually. Okay, we had an issue. Corona was a big problem for us, but it was kind of countered in a very great manner by this government. It's not easy, as you said, doing
See,
so
if you
much of
see none of
vaccination.
our medias, they talk about it. All these medias, they should talk about it because it's not the achievement of a BJP or Narendra Modi. It is an achievement of each and every Indian.
Exactly.
Because to administrate 2.3 crores of vaccine, how many health workers were involved? What kind of a support they did, what kind of a planning they did, what kind of a work they did. We have to appreciate each and everyone. They were involved in this operation, they were involved in this mission. So media should talk about it, but no one talks about it because they all have an agenda. Now it's become a paid media.
Yeah, and achieving this much of vaccination, even after so much of bad politics or cheap politics done by a lot of the opposition forces, saying that, okay, first they started saying that this is Modi vaccination, I will not take it. Okay, they started spreading that. Okay, and then later they couldn't do anything because people understood that it is important to really take the vaccination, and now we are seeing that happening quite a lot. Okay, so it's not that's where or even also with so much of cheap politics going on around, Modi was really focused in getting things done. He didn't kind of get deterred by all this stuff, and that's this man. He is a Karma Yogi, I would say.
Exactly,
Right? So he
exactly.
just looks at what he has to do, what is his dharma, keeps on moving. And that's what he mentioned to people in the athletes, right? The Olympians. Okay, so he had discussions with all the athletes and also Paralympians. Okay,
Yes.
and he discussed about with them, saying that some people said, I am disappointed because I didn't get a medal. So he advised them, saying that, see, just forget about it. You gave your best, and that's most
Best.
important. You reached till here, that's again very important. So, in case of failure, don't get dejected, and in case of success, don't get carried away. And that's this man. Okay, so
Exactly.
he
Yeah.
just keeps
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
doing. You
See
do
the
a lot of,
people.
yeah,
See the people who's doing this cheap politics and start criticizing. They will be doing it, and they will be in the same place. But we have to move forward. We have to see
yeah,
what we need to achieve. So that
exactly.
is really really important. I think by end of the year, we will cover maybe 90% of our population. So first quarter of next year, I think we will be vaccinating 100% of the Indians. After that, and believe me, Anant, the world will depend on us.
Right.
Without our support, without our supply, the world cannot have 100% vaccination. So India will play a big role in it. And definitely our Prime Minister Narendra Modi will play a huge role in this, and he will be supporting the entire world. He will be a leader for the world.
Exactly, and that will be the Atmanirbhar Bharat that he keeps on saying, right? So we are all self-sufficient, and we can
Yes.
create ourselves what we need. We are not dependent across the board and all that, right? So that's the whole important point there. All right, so we had a great discussion about Mr. Modi, and I'm sure our viewers will understand Modi ji much better now. And they should all go and read the life of this man in much more detail, and that will be very inspiring for them, and that will also help them grow in their life and careers also, for that matter.
One is to read about our PM. The other important thing is to know the schemes, what he has done, to know what he has done for the people, what kind
Yeah,
of a benefits, we are getting from this government. So that is
exactly,
very important. If some people, they don't want to know the life history of Modi, it's fine. But at least you should know what he is doing for the people and what kind of a benefit people are getting it.
exactly. And the youth of Tamil Nadu, for that matter, can really benefit from this, right? They can go and read, like Mr. Maridas also keeps on urging the youth of today to go and read about the schemes, okay, understand them, and then talk about debate, challenge stuff, which is all okay. But they should go ahead and read and understand what is the reality behind these schemes and how are they helping us. All right. Okay, with that, thank you so much, Mr. Damu, for your time today. It was a great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Anant. I think through our conversation, each and every youth will know what is happening in India. People will know who is our PM and what he is doing and what he can do for us and how we can grow, how our nation will grow. Thank you, Anant. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.